Thomas the Tank Engine and Friends, Tales on the Rails, Episode 53. You can do it, Henry. All of the engines were working hard on the island of Sodor. They were all finishing up the day's work as the sun dawned down. It had been a busy day, and they were all looking forward to a night's rest. All except Henry, who wasn't feeling well. When the engines returned to tin the sheds, they found Henry groaning. "Oh, what is it now, Henry?" "My boiler's grumbling," he complained. "Don't you have to pull the flying kipper tonight?" asked Edward. "Yes, but I'm not feeling well." "Poh, tender engines don't complain, Henry. It's not our nature." "Says the one that complains about shunting his own coaches," laughed Thomas. "That's different, little Thomas. Tender engines don't shunt, and tender engines don't complain." Henry didn't know what to think. Later on, Henry puffed to the docks to collect the flying kipper, even though he was not feeling well. Arthur was shunting the flying kipper into place when he noticed the sad Henry. He puffed up to Henry. "Henry, I see you're looking sad. What's up?" "Oh, nothing. It's just that I'm not feeling well tonight, and I guess, pushed around at the sheds by Gordon about not feeling well and complaining." "Oh, don't listen to Gordon," said Arthur. "Cheer up. It's the flying kipper. It's a nice night run to clear your firebox." "All right," said Henry, but he still wasn't convinced. Henry plucked up courage, coupled up to the flying kipper, and gave a nice smile to the dockside crew as they cheered him on out of the docks. Thanks to Arthur's words, Henry was able to forget about his boiler pains and pressed on. Henry enjoyed himself as he had to take the mountain ride instead of the coastal trek due to high tides. Then Henry arrived at the mountains. He slowed down and looked at the slope he had to conquer. He then began to feel disheartened, but plucked up courage again and continued on his way. He began to climb the rigorous course. He found strength he never knew was inside him today. Henry puffed up higher and higher, but soon the weight got extremely heavy, and suddenly he started falling backwards. I'm slipping, he shouted. "Not today, old boy," shouted his driver as he switched on his sanding gear. Henry struggled against the weighted cars, but his sanding gear did no use as he slipped back down the hill. The train slipped all the way back down to the bottom, where Henry had just started. Henry's aching pain suddenly came back, and his courage was gone. "Don't worry, Henry. I'll call for help." Just before Henry's driver was about to call for help, there puffed in Murdoch. "Hello, Henry." "Oh, hello, Murdoch," said Henry sadly. "I saw your Triumph in the distance, and I heard from Arthur about everything. Now, how about we say we get this train to Knapford, shall we?" Henry smiled again as he knew he had a good friend in Murdoch. Murdoch was soon coupled to the train, and they backed up a bit further to get a good run. "I respect your bravery even though you weren't feeling well. We can do this. Ready, Murdoch?" "Ready," said Murdoch as they charged the hill. The two engines worked perfectly together, as the straining was easier as they puffed up the hill. "Look, Henry, we're halfway there." "This is easy," said Henry. "Thank you, Murdoch." "We've made it, Henry, we've made it!" shouted Murdoch in excitement. The two rushed down the hill, knowing that they had accomplished something very difficult. Later on, Henry thanked Murdoch again. "Thank you for all your help, Murdoch. I couldn't have done it without you. You're such a great friend." "Oh, not to worry. I'm always eager to help a friend in need." Then Sir Topham Hatt arrived. "Henry, I want you to go to the works. I see that your tubes may be clogged." "Yes, sir," said Henry. "Oh, thank you, sir. And I'm sorry I didn't notice this before. Engines have told me that you haven't been feeling well for the past 3 or 4 days." "It's true," said Henry. "But when you have good friends, you can always manage through." When Henry returned from the works, he felt brand new. He felt as if he was built again, and he felt that he had friends forever.